Hi, Owen. What are you doing?
Hi. I'm trying to read a letter that my friend Lucas sent me from summer camp. But it is difficult.
Can I see?
Sure.
Okay, I see what the problem is. Lucas hasn't used any punctuation marks, and he doesn't use capital letters where they are needed.
Puncture marks?
Punctuation marks. Like periods, exclamation marks, and question marks. Here, let me explain. When we write, we need to use punctuation marks, because that will help the reader understand the text. We use punctuation marks at the end of sentences. So, punctuation marks give us clues about two things. 1. Where a sentence ends, and 2. What the writer is trying to say. I'll give you some examples of sentences. The young of cats are called kittens. This sentence ends with a period. We use periods at the end of sentences that just tell the reader something. If the writer wants to show us how strongly they feel about something, they use an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence instead. Like this. Wow, that kitten is so cute. The writer is very excited to see that kitten. When the writer wants to ask something, they will use a question mark at the end of the sentence, like this. Can I play with the kitten? You see, here the writer is asking a question.
I think I understand.
Okay, now you try it. What punctuation mark would you use in this sentence? Great job learning about punctuation marks.
An exclamation mark. Because the writer is showing us how happy they are that someone else learned about punctuation marks.
Correct. How about this? What's your name?
A question mark, because the writer is asking a question.
That's right. And one final sentence that needs a punctuation mark. School starts at 8 in the morning.
The writer is just telling us something, so, a period.
Great job, Owen.
Thanks, Laura. So, punctuation marks are important, because they tell us where a sentence ends, and give us important information about what the writer is trying to say. But Laura, you said that Lucas' letter doesn't use capital letters either.
I did. Now you know that we have to use punctuation marks to end sentences, but how do we know where a sentence begins? The first word in a sentence must always start with a capital letter, like the capital Y in this sentence. You must always start sentences with capital letters. So, we can tell where a sentence begins, because its first word always begins with a capital letter. But sometimes you need to also use capital letters in the middle of a sentence. Names of people and places, or proper nouns as they are called, must always start with a capital letter. Like this. I am teaching Owen about capital letters. We live in Schoolville. So, your name must start with a capital O, even though it's in the middle of a sentence. Schoolville is the name of a place, so it must also start with a capital letter.
Okay. So, capital letters must be used in the beginning of a sentence, and for names of people and places.
Exactly. Now, how would you like to rewrite Lucas' letter, so that it has all the necessary punctuation marks and capital letters?
I'd like that very much.
And you who is watching this video, why don't you try it too? Have fun!